You've done extraordinary work, real programs with real impact, and you have real evidence that you know what you're doing, and you've earned your place at the table making decisions. And yet, there's still a voice, quiet, persistent, exhausting. Am I actually good enough? Do they really see me? What if they find out I'm not as capable as they think? If you're a mission-driven professional and that voice sounds familiar, I want to tell you something today. The fact that that voice is getting louder, that means you're questioning things, feeling more than usual, maybe even wondering if you're falling apart. Those are not signs that something is wrong with you, however. Those are signs that your nervous system is healing. And while I walk around these horses and see what they do, I'm going to walk you through 5 signs that most impact professionals often miss, plus 3 bonus signs at the end that are worth sticking around for. Along the way, you might get to know some of the personalities of this horse herd since they like to help out. My sweet horse is a red-brown one named Sophie, and one of her friends who's here in this herd is the great something or other granddaughter of Seabiscuit, the racehorse. I know that impact professionals often miss the signs because I've lived it. When I was a little girl, I was so shy that when my parents had teachers come to visit in our home, I hid under the dining table. My parents had just founded a school, a Waldorf school. Our home was full of educators, thinkers, people doing important work in the world, especially in the Soviet Union at the time. And I was hiding, hoping no one would notice me. That same girl somehow became a VP at a social impact tech agency, leading major projects, shaping strategies that reached millions of people, and now helping to create inclusive, innovative partnerships at a community foundation, sitting in rooms I never imagined I'd be in when I was that little girl, doing work I genuinely believe in. And for a long time, some version of that little girl was still under the table, still waiting to be found out. What helped me heal the most was not the titles. It was not the accomplishment of getting an MPP from Harvard. It was my training as a transformational mindset facilitator and then leading hundreds of coaching sessions and community conversations. Because in that work, sitting with impact leaders one after another, I started seeing something that I couldn't unsee. And it was that every single high-achieving, deeply committed change maker I worked with, no matter how decorated, no matter how experienced, carried a version of the same belief: I am not good enough. Even when the evidence said, absolutely, unquestionably, yes, you're good enough. That belief is not a character flaw. It's a nervous system pattern, and it heals. But it heals in ways that don't always look like healing. And there are 5 signs to watch for. Your nervous system does not heal the way that your brain wants it to. It does not follow a logical, measurable trajectory. It doesn't show up on a dashboard. It doesn't respond to willpower or a better morning routine. Healing often feels emotional, confusing, and messy. And for impact professionals especially, people trained to push through and get to where they want to go, that can feel alarming. So here are the signs. Pay attention, because your body already knows how to heal. Trust it. Give it what's needed. Just know what the signs are.
Baby, you need some connecting and rubbing first.
Impact leaders are extraordinarily skilled at one particular thing: managing their emotions so the work can continue. You've sat in devastating community meetings and held it together. You've lost funding, perhaps this year, watched programs end, navigated impossible stakeholder dynamics, and you showed up the next day. So when emotions start to surface in places that feel really inconvenient, in the middle of a planning session, reading a grant report, in the car, on the way home, it can feel like something is going wrong. It's not. Your body is defrosting. The emotions that you learned to park so the mission could continue, they're finally moving. And the fact that they're moving means you are finally safe enough to feel them. That is an excellent sign. Here is something I see constantly in my facilitation work. Impact leaders come to me with an extraordinary portfolio of experience, programs launched, grants won, measurable change in the world, and they will look at all of that evidence I can see with my own eyes and say, but I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing. And that old belief, this is what you're seeing, I'm not good enough. It keeps coming up and it doesn't respond to resume updates. The funny thing is that horses don't respond either to resume updates. They want you fully present in every cell of your body. It was never about the resume for them. So when your awards stop quieting that inner critic, and when hitting a big goal feels hollow, that is not burnout. That is your nervous system rejecting the old coping strategy, rejecting the idea that external proof can heal an internal wound. The system is ready for something more honest. That is an excellent sign. Before we get to sign 3, if this is already landing for you, I want to make sure that you know about the resource in the description below. It's a starting point for nervous system work specifically designed for people doing this mission-driven work. You don't have to figure this out alone. The link is right there. Okay, on to sign 3. Mission-driven work has a beautiful and genuinely dangerous quality. When you care so deeply about what you're doing, overworking doesn't feel like it's overwork. It feels like purpose. Staying late isn't a problem. It's commitment. Running on empty isn't a red flag. It's dedication. And then one day it stops feeling that way. You start to wonder, is this sustainable? Is this actually what impact looks like? Do I have to sacrifice myself for this mission? I want to be very direct with you. This is not your motivation failing. This is not a midlife crisis. This is your nervous system moving out of survival mode and out of that constant low-grade emergency state that impact professionals often live in, and beginning to have more capacity. Survival energy kept you going, yes. Real energy asks, where do I actually want to go? And that is an excellent sign. Impact professionals live in their heads. It's one of our superpowers. Systems thinking, strategic analysis, narrative framing, big picture vision. But the body has been sending signals the whole time. The tight jaw before the board meeting, the shallow breath before the funder or the board call, am I right? The exhaustion after a successful event that should have felt energizing, the way your shoulders rise when a certain email lands in your inbox. Your soma, your body, is a data system, and it has been running quietly in the background, storing information that your mind was just too busy to process. When you start noticing those signals, not pushing through them, but actually pausing to notice, that is a profound shift. Responding is a choice. Reaction is a default, and noticing is what makes the choice possible. That is an excellent sign. I need to tell you about the moment that I understood this at a cellular level. It was in my 20s, still finding my way, figuring out who I was and what I was capable of, and I had the incredible privilege of attending a workshop at the Hollyhock Institute. For those who don't know it, it's on Cortes Island in the stunning inland waterway of British Columbia. It's the kind of place where moss covers the rocks. You can see that the topsoil is super shallow and the landscape feels like it's trying to tell you something. The workshop was leadership, and it was with horses. Here's what I discovered that changed everything I thought I knew about presence. You cannot fool a horse with a brilliant resume. You cannot impress them with your title, or your grant history, or your community initiatives you've launched. They do not care. What they respond to is your actual state, your nervous system. Are you present? Fully, embodiedly, genuinely present? Or are you performing presence while your mind is somewhere else entirely? If you walked into that pasture timid and contracted, even if you were trying your best to look calm, the horses felt it. And in contrast, if you walked in grounded, fluid, genuinely inhabiting your body, they felt that too. People feel this too, your team, the communities you serve, the funders across the table, They may not be able to name it exactly, but they feel whether you're actually here or whether you're running on autopilot while your nervous system is caught somewhere else between last week's meeting and next month's deadline. Now, when you start to notice the difference in yourself, when presence stops being something that you perform and starts being something you actually inhabit, that is one of the deepest signs of healing that I know. That is an excellent sign. Now the 3 quick bonus signs that I want you to have. The glass of wine that used to take the edge off doesn't really, not really. The productivity hack that used to feel control now feels hollow. When your old patterns stop scratching the itch, your system is ready for something deeper. That is a good sign. The cocktail party energy, it starts to feel exhausting in a new way. You want fewer relationships and you want more honest ones. You want to be in rooms where people are actually with each other. When performing connection stops satisfying you, your system is ready for the real thing. This third one can be frightening. If you're in the middle of it, I see you. When you've built yourself around being the one who gets it done, and that identity starts to feel like a costume, it can be deeply disorienting. In my transformational mindset facilitator work, this is often the threshold or the liminal moment. The old self, built on old beliefs, is making room for something more rooted. Let it. Now here's what I want you to hold on to. Your body's nervous system already knows how to heal. It's not waiting for you to find the right protocol, the right season, the right funding cycle. It's healing right now. And the signs of that healing, they might look like feeling too much, questioning your purpose, losing interest in the grind, or standing in a field or on a street realizing that the most important credential you carry is your actual presence. You're not behind. You're not broken. You are becoming. And if this landed for you, please gently touch subscribe. There will be many more episodes. Share it with a fellow leader who wants to hear it today. Leave a comment below. Tell me which sign you recognize in yourself. And if you're ready to go deeper, the resource in the description is where we start. Next, I invite you to learn some of the things you may be doing by mistake, inadvertently, that make regulating your nervous system worse. Thanks so much.